Well, hello there, everyone. Hope you're doing well on this terrific Tuesday. It's May the 9th, 2023. And hopefully you're doing outstanding. I want to talk to you today about something similar between real estate and mineral rights acres, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so before I begin, I'm Mazske Finance. I'm not a financial attorney, not a CPA, not an attorney, not a financial advisor, if I didn't say that right the first time. I'm also not a doctor or nutritionist, and I'm here drinking my second cup of green tea for the day. Just had lunch a little bit ago, so following up with a cup of green tea. So anyway, mineral rights. As you know, if you saw my yesterday's videos, I just am back from Texas, great state of Texas, San Antonio, Texas. Attended a fantastic conference that Troy Eckert and Eckert Land and Acquisitions put on. I gotta say, he is a great person, absolutely great. All the staff there that I've met, yes, I know they're on their best behavior because they have orders from the boss, but yet they are genuinely some of the nicest people I've ever met. I gotta say it. The police officer I met that worked 2 out of 3 days at the event or 3 out of 4 days at the event. Officer Alex, super nice, super great. Almost everybody I talked to was just a great human being. So anyway, mineral rights acres, and also Troy and his company. He is very, very transparent. He wears his heart on his sleeve as well. But he's also very strong opinions, and he will voice his opinions. Okay. He will also, if there's good news or bad news, he's going to tell you. If it's bad news, he will tell you directly. No beating around the bush with him, which I like that. I like that. So mineral rights acreage. I will tell you some of the good and the bad. I will compare it with my rental property. Tell you some of the good and the bad. Okay? So where to begin? You know I'm a real estate investor. You know I also invest in stocks. You know I invest in oil drilling. You know I have dabbled a little bit with crypto. And I've looked into other investments. Real estate is my true love. And a lot of my rental houses, the ones up in Indiana, when I bought them, they were 25% cash on cash return. I got them at good prices and the rents were low, but they were okay. I did have to spend a lot of money out of pocket to rehab a lot of these houses, but rents took a big jump up, like sometimes $300, $400. And my cash on cash return now ranges from 25% up to 40 or 45%. So it's pretty good cash on cash return. And that accounts for holding out money for vacancies, repairs, and capital expenditures, okay? But with that being said, how many rehabs will I have to do as time goes on? I've owned property there since 2019. I have had to rehab a house twice, but it's been smaller dollar rehabs and smaller work. But I have had to do it twice, both in Alabama and in Indiana, not in Virginia or not in Chicago as of yet. That's where I've also had rental property. Okay, so you do have to spend money periodically with rental properties. If you own it for years, you're going to put a new roof on it. You're going to have to replace the furnace or the HVAC or the hot water heater or the windows or the doors or the sinks or repair holes in walls. There's always something to do. But yet, you've heard me say, real estate, in my humble opinion, is the fastest way that anybody can create wealth. Faster than stocks, okay? Now, if you want to invest in mineral rights, you can't just jump right in and invest. You do have to be accredited. There's 2 ways to be accredited. Remember, I'm not an expert on anything here. One way is to have a net worth of at least $1 million, not counting your personal residence, okay? Counting your savings, your investments, etc. The other way is to have a high enough income, and it's something like, I might be wrong with this, $200,000 a year for the past 2 years with the expectation it'll continue for the next 2 years, something like that, okay? So there's a little bit of a barrier to entry. If you're like I was and you're not making a lot of money, $1 million is a big, big number. Troy a lot of times will say, bless his heart, he'll say something like, he deals a lot with high net worth individuals, okay? Yes, he does. My channel, yes, I like high net worth individuals to watch it, but I'm also here for the little guy, okay? If you have $5 to your name, I am here to try to encourage you and motivate you to become an accredited investor, Not tomorrow, not next year, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years, maybe a little bit longer. I don't know. We're all different, okay? So mineral rights acreage, I talked a little bit about rentals, mineral rights acreage, pros and cons. One is when you buy it, something from Acreage Land and Acquisition, they will tell you it'll take approximately 180 days until you get your first revenue check, okay? Now, that's 6 months, okay? And if you buy a rental house, if there's a tenant in place, I bought a triplex on May 31st. On June 1st, I got 3 rental checks. Right then and there, I hadn't even paid my first mortgage payment. I got 3 rental checks. That was nice, okay? So if you buy mineral rights, you're gonna wait 6 months, all right? While you're waiting, if it's your first time especially, you might get a little antsy. You might get a little impatient. It's like, is this real? Can I trust Troy? Am I really gonna get money? Because maybe you haven't gone there. And if you go there, it's underground. You can't go down there and look at it. Sure, they might show you pictures. They might show you some data. But until you get that revenue check, you just don't know unless you have experience in oil already and natural gas already. Okay? So you got to wait. Now, when you get that first check, you might watch videos on this and you might hear the first check is the biggest because the first check to pay on the 10th of the month. Now, let's just say it was this month, the 10th of the month. And I may possibly have one of my portfolios might pay out on the 10th of the month for the first time. It's been about 6 months. Okay? You might hear something along the way that this will be a big check because it might be several months worth of revenue. But now more than likely it's going to be vintage wells, not new wells that they're drilling. But then it still should be a big check. From my experience, I've gotten some checks that are, big. Maybe they're 3%, 4%, 5% of the amount I bought it for. But I've also gotten some checks on the 10th that were very small. 1% or 0.7% or something like that. Very small, okay? I have gotten some portfolios that, with the expectations that they were going to take off fast, and it's been 3, 4, 5 months, and they're just kind of, lingering along. Now, with that being said, do I not like mineral rights? No, I absolutely love owning mineral rights acreage. Here's why. I understand now better than ever about energy, about fossil fuels, about how we are completely dependent on them. No matter what you may hear, no matter if you hear we're going 100% to electric cars, we still need fossil fuels. And we have enough reserves in the United States of America to last us hundreds of years, longer than probably any of us will live, okay? So is it a finite resource? Yes. Will we run out one day? Yes. But we're not going to run out in my lifetime and probably not in your lifetime and probably not in your grandkids' lifetime, okay? And even if we go 100% to electric cars, we still need roughly 10 million barrels of oil a day, a month, whatever the time period is. We still need, if we're using 20 million, whatever that is, 20 million, I always forget this, 20 million a day or 20 million a month. I think it's 20 million a day. If we're using 20 million barrels a day, I'll just say that if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. If we use 20 million barrels a day and we eliminate all gas-powered cars, 100%, we might drop down to 10 million barrels a day, something like that. We currently are producing something like 10 or 11 million barrels a day in the United States. That means even if we eliminate all electric cars or all gas cars and get all electric cars, we don't have to decrease production in this country. We stop buying it from our enemies. We stopped buying it from the Middle East and places that we've been to war with. We were buying from Russia until just a year or so ago. Okay, we can stop buying from them, produce it ourselves, put Americans to work producing it. But people out there are against it. And you know what that does? It helps drive up the price because they are against it. But anyway, I digress. With mineral rights acreage, I have one portfolio. I'll give you an example. I bought it probably sometime in early 2022. I don't have my spreadsheet in front of me. The 6 months came to pass in summer, late summer maybe, of 2022. And during that time period, as we started getting payments, maybe it was a little before, maybe it was a little after, we started getting our checks. It wasn't a lot. It was just whatever that was down here, okay? I will get emails in periodically that portfolio, they've gotten permits on like a 6-pack of wells, 6 wells or something, 4 wells to 6 wells, and they're going to be drilling these big wells, and it's a really productive area, and they're drilling them sooner than what they were expecting. And then as the months rolled on, I'd see other emails at times. People, I could tell they were very excited about what they're doing with these wells. And then I started hearing a big check's coming. A big check's coming. So anyway, that big check, they hope, is coming this month. And it may be somewhere, I've heard a couple different numbers from Acreage staff. And I think they're trying to temper their excitement, perhaps. But it could be just in 1 month. The return could be 25% or 30%, somewhere in there, just for one payment. We've already been getting payments every single month. Maybe I don't know exactly what return I've gotten to date so far, if it's been 6%, 7%, 8%, something like that. But if we get one check that's just 25%, 30%, and what that's figured on is the purchase price. That portfolio, I bought it, I remember it, for $17,500. I got 1 acre, because I'm a small guy, just buy 1 acre. Okay, $17,500. So if you do the math, 25% of $17,500, it's over $4,000. Not $5,000, so it's over $4,000. If we get 30%, it's a little bit more. It's over $5,000, I guess, maybe not quite $6,000. Okay, that's a nice little chunk just for 1 month of payment, because that doesn't mean I'm getting it one time and it stops. What normally happens with mineral rights is there's already wells on that land the surface you own, there's already wells there. So you're getting vintage payment from vintage wells. It's a smaller amount because wells go up, they start decreasing down, they level off. An oil well, natural gas well, they may produce, hang on to your hat, they may produce when they're pumping 25, 30, 50, 75 years. That's how long they may produce. Maybe 100 years, okay? Now, the decline is, as time goes on, going down, okay? Now, if it's going down over 50 years, it's going down slowly, but it's going down, okay? And it will keep dropping off. I remember a while back thinking, well, if it lasts for 50 years, I'll be dead by then. And if I keep getting payments, But something I wasn't always thinking about, and it's very clear to me now, more so than ever. They don't just drill that well and stop. A lot of times, these 6 wells in that portfolio, when all 6 are pumping, number one, that's 6 brand new wells, and they should be, hopefully. People are excited at the Acreage staff. They know what's coming. They're excited about it. I'm excited as a investor because it'd be my returns, right? Even though I'm small, just 1 acre. But the plan is, for what I was told to me by Garrett, I believe, his expectations are, because remember, the people drilling, it's not Acreage drilling, okay? They are not drilling. They're the organizer of all this. It is the big dogs, the operators. I'll just throw out names. It's not Exxon, but it could be ExxonMobil, Chevron, I'm forgetting all the names. I've seen them all, Devon and other ones. They're the ones operators. They're the big boys. Okay, and you and I and Troy and the staff, we can't control them. They have their own schedule. They drill, they frack, they pump. If prices are down, they may stop pumping. Natural gas prices dropped way down. I'm hearing a lot of these operators are stopping drilling for natural gas because it's not beneficial to them. Because the price is too low, they're not making money. So as they reduce producing it, supply and demand, prices will go back up over time, okay? And then they'll start drilling for it again, all right? So we can't control them. They work their own thing. But the plan is, the expectations are, they just drilled 6 wells. We'll just say they went down and out. And we'll say 2 miles, 2 miles, okay? They went that way. They may do 6 more going down and out that way. Let's just say we go east-west. They may do a couple more going north and south, okay? And they may do more But then what happens is, think about technology. Technology keeps changing, doesn't it? Same thing with oil technology. It keeps changing. And when they started fracking 7, 8, 9 years ago, it revolutionized oil drilling. They used to just drill vertical holes. And sometimes you drill vertically, it's a dry hole. Nothing comes out. But now they go down and over. That changed things because when you go down and over, it's a much, much, much better chance you are going to get stuff coming up. Okay? Oil and natural gas. And once they started fracking, that opened up a lot of the reserves that were up in the fissures of cracks and crevices underground. It's loosening it up so they could come out. So the amount, but here's the number that what they say now. We only extract about 10% of the oil and natural gas down there at any given time. As technology evolves, the expectations are that that 10% will increase, like we'll be able to get more of it out once they figure out how to do it, okay? So here's something that was made clear to me this weekend, is we may get our returns and they may go up, stop, level off, and this over a period of months, start declining over the next 6, 9, 12 months, and then level off at some lower figure, whatever that figure might be, okay? They have it all calculated out. They can calculate exactly, more or less, where it's going to level down to. But what the expectations are after maybe 1 or 2 years, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 or 7 years, that's on that land, they will drill more wells. They might do it quick. They might take a couple more extra years to do it. But whenever they drill more wells, your revenue, remember, it went up, it was down, it leveled off here. Okay, we'll go back to the side, leveled off here. So now when they drill more wells, it goes up higher than it went before. So when it comes back down, at first time if we were down here, maybe now it's up here. So it's at a higher level. So it's still going to decline, but it's at a higher level. And then maybe it's another 3, 4, or 5 years. And they drill more wells. They got different technology. They go in an angle. They go deeper. There's different levels under the surface. In Oklahoma, where I'm buying, you got the Mississippian, you got the Woodford, and you got another one. You got 3 or 4 layers down there. When they drill now, they tap into one of those layers. They might drill next year and go a layer lower and tap in, or a layer higher and tap in, whatever it may be. There's a lot of variables that can come into play here. So I'm going to give you some examples and wrap this up. Hopefully those that you're interested stuck around to the end. I'm going to wrap this up, okay? Something I heard while I was there. 2 stories, 2 examples, okay? 2 examples. One, the doc at my breakfast table 2 days in a row, 2 mornings in a row. It's a female. She told me, her husband might have told me this, but she elaborated on it. She inherited some sort of investment in mineral rights that her grandfather had bought, she thinks, in the early 70s, 1970s. I was alive then, but that was 50 years ago, 50, roughly. And he told me they've been getting a check every month. And it's not a lot. It's been 50 years. It's not a lot. But that was like, she knew a little bit about it. She's a new partner. Her and her husband are new partners with Acreage. They're new, but they've already known about this because she has owned mineral rights because her grandfather bought something in the 1970s. Okay? Troy told a story about a current partner who's in his 60s. He said his grandfather or great-grandfather bought rights in the 1920s, 100 years ago, somewhere. And from the 1920s till now, it's stayed in the family. Okay? Revenue has been decreasing. Maybe I don't know if they drilled a well sometime, more wells as the years went on. They probably did. But remember, they used to drill vertical wells. And, as time went on, they get better and better. But now, he said, this partner said they were very excited because they're drilling brand new wells now. And he's getting those returns. And he's in his 60s. His grandfather, 100 years ago, bought these. And it's still producing returns that are going up. That's just fascinating to me. Because if we have rental houses, Are they still going to be producing income in 100 years? Hopefully, hopefully. Hopefully if my kids inherit mine and their kids inherit theirs, hopefully they will keep a good roof on it and keep it maintained and it doesn't fall down. But there's no guarantee. Same thing with oil. There's no guarantee it's going to go for 100 years, any particular well, but it might. And none of us probably, I might live to be 120, but yet I don't have 100 years left to go, right? I'm 55 right now. So it depends on your age. If you're 20 and you live to 120, you got 100 years to go. So maybe you'll live and you'll see how true this is, because we'll see. But see, that's why I'm excited about it, because we are not going to get rid of fossil fuels anytime soon. And say we do in 75 years, we're using nuclear fusion or fission or whatever. Okay, I'm dead and gone by then. So, and my descendants must be like, oh man, the free money stopped. But it wasn't their money to buy it. Like, they would inherit it. It's free. If you inherit something, it's free. If it goes belly up, okay. Is it really a big loss? Unless you were spoiled and you were dependent on it. So, anyway, if you're interested, let me know. I can always, if you so desire, I can always email the company. I have a wealth manager. Like, we all have a rep assigned to us. I can email my wealth manager and introduce him to you. I don't get any kickback for it. No, I've already referred one person, Helicopter Pilot Caleb. He has a couple acres. I didn't get any kickback or any extra nothing. Okay, that's not how they work. They're fair. I could refer 100 of you. I'm not going to get anything for it, but you'll get something. You'll get the returns. But remember, you got to be accredited to buy mineral rights. Now, if you want to buy rentals, where I buy at, again, let me know. I can put you in touch with a couple of different real estate agents. I can put you in touch with my property managers. I can put you in touch with a turnkey operator if you decide to go that route in the area that I'm investing in. I'm also checking out new areas too. So it's totally up to you what you want to do. I can't make you do anything. All I can do is share information. All right, this is getting long. It's going to take me forever to upload this video. The later it gets in the day, it takes longer and longer to upload a video. I did, for the first time, have a showing on this house this morning. So that kept us busy getting it spiffed up, and then we had to leave while a potential buyer came in toward the house. I haven't gotten any feedback yet. So they're looking at a bunch of houses, so we'll see what happens. All right, so with that being said, have a great day. Mazske is signing out.